right. Well, welcome to this Ed puzzle about Double Dutch, our newest story from Journeys. Before we get started, I want to remind you of the genre. This could be kind of a new genre for us. I'm going to come over here and you can see where my circle is at. Our genre is narrative nonfiction. And so that is a form of nonfiction. So we know this is a true story where it's like someone is talking to us and telling us a true story. And we can expect to find events presented in time order, factual information that tells us a story, and pictures of people and events that are mentioned in the text. And so you can expect to kind of hear some interviews from some of the people involved as well as seeing their pictures. All right. The story was written by Veronica Chambers. Veronica Chambers was born in Panama. That's a country in Central America. When she was 5, she moved to New York City, where she got her first library card and learned to jump double dutch. She loves to travel and learn new languages. She can speak English, Spanish, Japanese, and French. Her books for young people include novels about best friends Marisol and Medelina and the biography Celis Cruz, Queen of Salsa. Chambers receives lots of emails each day, but she prefers to write letters. All right, let's check out what this double dutch is all about. Rocket Girls. It's early Saturday morning, and 5 girls gather in the gymnasium of Reed Junior High School in central Islip, Long Island. They are a multiracial group, white, brown, and black, but each girl is dressed in a matching red tracksuit. When they jump into the double dutch ropes, each head bobs with identical ponytails. They are a team, and what's more, each girl, averaging only 13 years old, knows what it's like to be a winner. The Snazzy Steppers, as this team is called, are the New York City champions. They are also ranked 5th in the world. As they unfold their ropes and begin to jump, they are intensely silent. They don't sing songs. They don't recite rhymes. Peggy and Debbie jump in to rehearse their doubles routine. They move in unison, which isn't easy, and they execute even the most complex moves with a uniform grace. It's as if they were rowers in the same boat, and their arms and legs slicing and curving together. The 2 turners offer up tips and criticism. Don't go faster than the ropes, Laniqua reminds her teammates. Sometimes the entire team catches a case of the giggles, prompting their coach to insist they focus harder. I'm not laughing, Peggy mutters. Yes, you were, whispers Debbie. I smile, and then you laugh. All right, so we can kind of get some background about what's going on and how their team must practice. And then we see a picture of that, and it looks like an actual photograph of the team. So that contributes to this being nonfiction. In the ropes, it seems that the steppers defy gravity. They do handstands and backflips. They bend to touch their feet and kick their legs as high as the Radio City Rockettes. But they are something even better. They are astronauts of the asphalt, rocket girls limited only by their imagination and their unbelievably limber, athletic bodies. All right, now we're over here. I see I've got another real picture, and it says Coach Rocket. And so this kind of it gives me a clue. We're going to talk about this gentleman, and I'm wondering why. Who is this guy? Life for the Snazzy Steppers wasn't always so sweet. It was only 5 years ago that these girls couldn't jump double dutch at all. Their coach, David Rocket, started the team 8 years ago when he became frustrated with a lack of positive activities for kids in the public schools where he teaches. One recess, I was looking out the window of my classroom, says Coach Rocket. Some of the kids were doing double dutch on the playground. I was fascinated by the call and response element, the rhymes, and the movement. The very next day, Rocket went to the local hardware store and bought a couple 100 yards of clothesline. He made a flyer inviting students to form a double dutch team. 40 girls showed up. Coach Rocket was thrilled but intimidated. Most of the girls had no double dutch experience. He'd have to teach them, but first he'd have to learn himself. No small feat for a 40-something white guy from the burbs. He visited other schools and playgrounds, asking kids for lessons. He studied books about jump rope and scanned the internet for competition tips and news. In just a few short months, he had mastered the game. Coach Rocket even wrote a song to help teach his girls how to jump. All right, so our story started with some information about, like, what's this about? These Rocket girls jumping double dutch. And then it goes to giving us some background information, how they got started. And so here's his rhyme. I probably won't do it justice. My name is Franny. I'm the rainbow frog. Inside the ropes, I'm a double dutch star. Bring 3 friends together who share the same dream. 2 turners and 1 jumper make a winning jump rope team. Let's start with 2 ropes. Turners hold the ends. Don't drop your ropes or you'll have to start again. Bend your knees slightly with your feet set apart. Spin those ropes round and round. You're off to a good start. Can you imagine egg beaters as they spin round and round? That's how the rope looks as it slaps the ground. Come gather round, friends. We're going to have some fun singing and jumping double dutch. All right, so he came up with that rhyme, and that's something that they probably used to practice as they were just learning. All right. Coach Rocket taught the girls all he knew, and then they attended their first competition in Harlem. That's a part of New York City. The girls were pulverized. Back in Central Islip, it had seemed that they were so talented. Everybody at Reed Junior High School was impressed by the way they could do flips and somersaults in the ropes. Sure, at home the snazzy Seppers were so bad. They were good, but the teams in Harlem were faster, bolder, smoother, and sassier. The girls left Harlem with no trophies, and their confidence ripped to pieces. It was the most painful thing to watch. They thought they were all that, remembers Coach Rocket. Then they saw double dutch for the first time. The girls hid in the bathroom at the competition, feigning illness. They were so scared. They knew they were one of the weakest teams in the league. The snazzy Seppers were down, but by no means out. Each year they returned to competition a little stronger. First they won 5th place, then 4th, then 3rd, then 2nd. Finally, after a lot of hard work, they grabbed the number 1 spot in New York City, qualifying for the World Championships. They've been flying high ever since. They've also become the best of friends. It's a funny math, says Coach Rocket. In double dutch, 1 + 1 + 1 doesn't equal 3. 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. You have to be tight. If you and I are turning and we have the tiniest bit of animosity toward each other, it comes out in the ropes. You're trying to get kids to care about each other, to learn about each other, to nurture each other. When it works, when a team comes together, it makes for a powerful group of young women. Each of the snazzy steppers has her favorite element of competition. Speed is my favorite thing. The challenge of it, says Debbie. Freestyle, that's where you get to express yourself, says Erica. My favorite thing is the trophies, says Caitlin. My best moment was when I learned the karate kick when I was in 3rd grade. It's such an easy trick, but it was my first trick, the first time I ever showed some style in the ropes, says Peggy. I'm the only girl on the team who came in knowing street double dutch. It's different from competitive jumping. In street rope, you jump long and fast. In competition, you slow down the rope so you can catch the trick. It was almost harder than learning from scratch. My style had to change, says Laniqua. And then here's some quotes. It says, double dutch is fearless. The audacious willingness to jump in and mix things up when life is sweeping over you from all sides in incessant, overwhelming waves. The skill, ultimately the thrill, is not stopping the flow, but keeping pace with the rhythm. And that's a quote from Lynette Clemston, reporter for the New York Times. And somebody else called it confidence in motion. Double dutch is bodies in motion, not decoration. Strong, glorious, exultant. Double dutch is glorious. Peggy Orenstein, award-winning author of Schoolgirls. All right, so I'm going to go back. I skipped one thing as I was reading. It was another rhyme that could get used when practicing double dutch. I had a little puppy. His name was Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank all the water. He swallowed a bar of soap. The next thing you know, it was halfway down his throat. In jumps the doctor. In jumps the nurse. In jumps the lady with the alligator purse. Out jumps the doctor. Out jumps the nurse. Out jumps the lady with the alligator purse. All right, so we're going to talk more this week about the snazzy steppers and how this piece of narrative nonfiction, how it works and how all the pieces work together to give us a little taste of what Double Dutch is like.